Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone, one of the most iconic races in the world of motorsport. As we reach round 5 in this season, the championship is practically tied, with Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin and McLaren all within just 3 points of each other. All three teams will be desperate for a win. The championship lead will be decided today on 6 kilometres of endless British racing history, with 18 corners for the best of the best to get creative and maybe aggressive. No doubt it's going to be a crazy race, so don't go anywhere, and welcome to round 5 of Formula V Season 7 here in Great Britain.
Alright, I think this is us starting off here. Welcome to the British Grand Prix. I'm Tyler, your commentator, along with Jay-Jak in just a moment. And we've got some great racing ahead of us here. It looks like R7 is going to be your pole sitter today with an astoundingly fast lap of 53.7. One other driver was only able to make it under 54 seconds, and that was Bruder, just barely scratching that 53.9 mark. So got a lot of new faces up in the top 5 here. We got Houdini, top 3 start here. Tuzi starting in 7th, so a little bit further back from what you'd expect your championship leader to start at. But other than that, a fantastic race ahead of us. And as you can see, the pole lap that R7 said is going to be on the bottom right here. If you want to take a look at that, it will be looping. So I've heard some whisperings of maybe rain towards the end of this race, potentially. Depends. The start of the race kind of started out a bit. I think it started out a bit slow here, but we'll see. The track conditions look pretty foggy for the most part right here. We're just getting the grid lined up and formed up right now to begin racing here at Silverstone in Great Britain for this race number 5 of the Season 7 Formula V Championship. Let me get a chat open here so I can actually see what everyone's saying. Alright, I'll start reading off names in chat here. If you guys want to start asking any questions or anything like that, I'm open for it. So, let's see, we've got Gal Creator, Joran, Skittles, Quantos, The Glory of Death, Marky OP, first time joining a stream. I'm glad you're here because this is going to be a great race here at Silverstone. I mean, this is a beautiful track. I mean, one of the best we've got on the calendar, so it's going to be a fun race. Mercedes winning this one? Alright, we'll see. As we are on the grid here, ready to start racing. Countdown will be starting shortly. We've got green flags here at Silverstone in Great Britain. This is going to be a great one. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Lights out. and away we go. R7 getting ahead of Bruder going into the first corner here. We've got Brybin and Pancho side by side. We've got no contact going into the first corner yet. It's a beautiful first set of corners here from these drivers. Very clean, keeping it through here. A couple cars off track, but no crashes, nobody losing any wings or anything, so we're going to stay green here. We've got 3 wide going into this next corner. We've got Vic taken going into the inside, pushing someone off track here. And we've got R7 just pulling away to an astounding lead. He's got a very, very far lead here going into the DRS zone, which has not been activated yet. Oh my god, car just went flying here. Another car in the air. We've got cars all over the place. That's going to be Robin. That's going to be a safety car out. Safety car is called. So that's going to be the pack coming back together. And that was an amazing first bit of action there on lap 1. So your running order pretty much stays the same. You got R7 still in first, Bruder in second, Brybin third, Vic fourth, and Tuzi's in fifth. He has gained 2 positions, so looks like he's coming in a bit hot. You know, come hunting down that podium. So he hasn't tasted it for a while, but it'll be nice to see him back up there battling with the legs of R7 and Bruder. So Durbang Master is going to be our safety car here. Looks like he's leading our drivers pretty well here. Well, let me get the chat open again so I can see what everybody's saying. What everybody's thoughts were on that first bit of action. This looks like bumpy cars, Gal Creator says. Fonto says, or am I stupid? Driving F1 cars like flying an airplane, that is true. Impressive driving in the first corners, absolutely. Yeah, that's impressive driving is indeed. Safety car in this lap, green flags. We are returning back to racing here on board with the Schraff Bruder here behind R7. Gonna be some cars behind. We've got Brybin and Vic and Tuzi's. Looks like they haven't changed positions yet. Everybody's kind of in line with each other. No overtakes attempted here. Vic is gonna squeeze him on the inside here. Let me get our stream open here fast. Oh, we're on board with Flicky here. Making some gains on Mr. Spooky. Got some tight pack racing here. We've got some very close distances, so we're going to see if anybody's on some different strategies. It'll really show here in these first laps when everybody's all tight together. Lots of overtakes are going to be happening. A little bit of chaos going into turn 1, but everyone keeping it clean, Flicky's going to shoot it down the inside. He might even get 2 cars here, get a little bit of bumping into the other cars. Oh, a couple cars are going off track. That's going to be Fauzi almost getting off track here. He's going to shoot on the inside. He's going to make another overtake here. This puts him up into, I don't know what position this is fighting for. This looks like he is going up to 11th place. Bean Ward right behind him, getting up right side by side with him. He's going to get pushed off track slightly as Flicky maintains position here. And I believe R7 and Bruder are so close in positions 1 and 2. It's going to be a pace race up there up front. They might be battling here in a minute. Tuzi's in 3rd place. He's actually in 3rd place now, overtaking Vic. So we got the 3 Titans up here up front, battling it out. Skillmax not far behind behind Vic and Brybin now. He's actually making a gaining a bit on Brybin. As the gap closes between R7 and Bruder, getting awfully close here. Potentially some overtaking might be happening going into this next straightaway. No, he's going to hold on to the lead, and Vic is closely behind Tuzi's as well for 3rd position. These cars are nose to tail right now. If we got any battling going on, Jay, I'll let you know. We'll swap over to that POV. I'm mainly focused on the leaders right now, but if there's somewhere else you see any action, I'll be glad to. Oh, Pancho shooting it down the inside of Stevie and Fauzi here as he overtakes the two cars here, going into these final few turns. He's going to maintain that position. As Fauzi shoots on the outside of Stevie, they're going side by side into the first couple corners here. They're going to go into the chicane. Stevie's going to hold the inside, but Fauzi has the inside of the next corner. That's going to be Stevie just barely deking it out the way of Stevie there, or of Fauzi, sorry. It's just behind that you've got Maxiclone going over MM7 here, using his boost. Will MM7 use it in return? He's going to hold on to it, potentially using it under the next corner, or maybe he did use it, I just didn't notice. As we're going to switch over here to Brybin, now behind Tuzi's, and now it looks like Vic actually made the overtake on Tuzi's a couple laps ago, so Tuzi's back down into 4th place here. I wonder what's going on with him struggling with pace, or what's happening there. He was off to an amazing start. As Brybin is coming down to the inside of Tuzi's. Tuzi's going to use his boost to stay ahead, though. R7 still holding the lead against Bruder, but it is so close. These cars are practically touching on their nose to tail here, and this is a great battle for the lead, this pace race. And he's going to shoot it down the outside, potentially going for a switchback here. He's not going to quite do it. He's going to hold on to the lead, R7. We might want to get over with R7 and Bruder, because these guys are dueling it for the lead right now. This is an amazing thing to watch. I would say go with the Bruder. Oh, Bruder shooting it down the inside of R7, going into the first turn. He's going to overtake him for the lead. What a great move there. And now he is now our race leader. Bruder is our race leader ahead of R7. And we've got Tuzi's in 3rd place now. He's actually overtaking Vic. So that's good for him. Back into the podium. And Skill Max still kind of lagging along behind here in 6th place. He got a bit of a gap to the cars in front, but looks like he's slowly chipping away at it if these guys in front are still dueling. And let's see if R7 can potentially regain that position, but Tuzi's is right on his tail, so if he messes up even a little bit, he's going to have him breathing down his neck, which will just allow Bruder to escape into this lead, which it looks like he's already doing. As Tuzi shoots down the inside, he's going to get the overtake on R7. I don't know if R7 didn't have any boost there or what, but that now propels Tuzi's into 2nd place. R7 is now staying in, he's now in 3rd. He was racing for the lead. Now he's going to overtake Tuzi's. He holds his curse for the front straightaway. He's going to retake that 2nd position by a mile. My God, he must have been holding a lot of boost there going into that front stretch as they come across to the slow turns 3 and 4. R7 just getting so close here to Bruder, but it's not enough as Bruder's going to hold on to the lead. Tuzi's is still vying for that 2nd position, coming down to the outside, boosting, getting in a little bit of position. I think he's going to boost again here. He's going to get on the inside, going into these flowing chicanes here. I think Maggots and Beckett's, I think that's what it's called. I'm not too well versed in the turns in this track. Tuzi's going to overtake him for 2nd. Okay, good. Then Tuzi's is right on the tail of Bruder now. This is very interesting. Let's see if he's able to make a move here on Bruder. He's going to use his boost to get away. R7 using his boost to get away. So I think they're using slightly different boosts here. Tuzi's is kind of using it on the back, whereas R7 and Bruder are using it towards the front of the track here, on the front straightaway. Still very close racing though. A bit clean overtaking action from these front 3 drivers. This is really great display we're seeing on track here. Yeah, but you're on board with Joe Brybin, and you're kind of just seeing this battle for the lead from his perspective. That's a great onboard to have. I'm not sure. I've been watching kind of my helicopter point of view. Haven't been really looking over at the stream too much. If you want to potentially spectate something else, we can. Let's see if there's any other battles. This battle for the lead is just so interesting to watch, though. These guys have got such great pace. As Brybin's closing in on Tuzi's and R7 here as they continue to battle. This is going to be an amazing fight for the 2nd and 3rd position.
Yeah, it appears that R7 has figured out the KERS usage of Tuzi's, and now he's staying ahead, because the last 3 laps, Tuzi's was able to mount an attack in the 2nd sector. and now he's been able to cover him off. A very good strategy from R7 to adapt.
Very attentive there to notice his curves, and also being able to adapt it as well, like changing it on the fly to defend against him, which is actually really, really smart. So, yeah, like you said, that's pretty good strategy from him there. As the gap started to widen out a little bit more, but 2C's is still right on his tail, gaining a little bit into Maggots and Beckets. And we've got also, we've got Brybin right behind. Oh, he's gonna hit the rock! He's flying off. He's off track though. He's off track. He's re-entering safely, so I don't think there should be a safety car call. I think he's all right. So that Brybin was in 4th place, which now puts Skill Max up into 4th place. He's hunting down these 2nd and 3rd place drivers of 2Z's and R7, so we'll see if he's able to regain some gap here on these guys. It's these two either, but still holding his lead very firmly. Got a decent sized lead ahead of these two guys here, as we're on board now with Houdini and Vic and Flicky, and I believe this is for P6, 7, and 8 here. So we've got on board. I believe we're on board with Houdini in 8th place. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So Vic's down all the way in 7th place now. He was all the way up on the top, if I'm not mistaken, earlier on. Lap 13 here, of 47. So still about maybe closer to a quarter of the way through this race. So lots of action, still lots of pit stop drama. I'm guaranteeing you there's going to be more racing incidents coming up here as well, so lots more action to follow. So don't touch that remote or mouse or whatever you're going to touch. Stay on here, because this is going to be some great racing. R7 and 2Z's are still battling for 2nd place. 2Z just overtook R7 for 2nd once again. So these guys are just deking it out right and left here. Yeah, 2Z's gotten to a bit of a good lead on R7 now, so maybe 2Z's figured out R7's strategy as well, and maybe since R7 adapted to 2Z's boost, maybe 2Z's just got the lines better with this, so maybe he's trying to beat him at his own game but failed.
That's true, especially if he's adapting like you're saying, because then he's like, okay, if I'm going to use Kurs and he's going to cover it, then I'll just save my Kurs to somewhere else, and then I'll actually cover him once I pass him and not give it up. So that's smart of him.
This track is fantastic for that, really is. Alright, we are still on board with 2Z's here in P2 as Pancho coming out of the pits. I don't know if that's an early stop or if that's part of his strategy. Maybe he might have started on the soft tire, but either way, it looks like he is, I don't actually know what position he's in. I can't see it on my scoreboard. So now we're on board with Spooky, Mr. Spooky, for 15th place in the McLaren. Through Maggots and Beckets, taking it cleanly. Not running wide, maybe running almost a little bit wide there. Looked like he was going to run at that rock. Brybin enters the pits now. He started off pretty strong. I believe he started top 3 and slowly started marking his way down as he hit that big rock there on the, I believe, 2nd or 3rd sector that kind of sent him back quite a bit. I see he's in, wow, he's in 16th place after that pit stop now. So a bit unfortunate for him. He looked like he was having a good start to the race. And we are on board with Mr. Stevie. He is in what position? 15th place, I believe. Did he already pit? Don't know that for sure yet. Flicky's now in 5th place, which is something we could, let's see. Flicky just enters the pits though. And Vic right behind him entering the pit as well. These leaders, I believe, are still staying out. So I don't know if they're on the harder compound or not, or if they're just able to save the tires better. But from the looks of it, they've got a bit of a different strategy than the guys behind them. So
overtake him in the pits? This is massive. If he's going to pass Flicky in the pits, apparently Flicky must have had much more worn tires or a softer compound. Look at that. He overtakes a position in the pits and comes out fighting with Joe Brybin. Wow, 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 wow. good job, Vic.
Yeah, that is insane. Overtaking someone in the pits is you don't see it too often, but when it happens, it's pretty awesome. See, we're on board with who's this again? In the Ferrari, overtaking the Alfa Romeo, Vic and Joe Bribin. As they enter Maggots and Beckett's, nose to tail, Bribin is right on his tail, gaining on him ever so slightly going into this next corner here. Let's see what kind of position he can make up here. See if he can go for the overtake. It doesn't look like he's able to do so. He kind of falls behind a little bit through that next section. Bruder is still your race leader, along with Tootsies in second place, R7 in third, Skillmax fourth, and Fancy in fifth. That rounds out your top five. R7 falling a bit behind Tootsies now, and Bruder. Bruder kind of holding out in the lead still, but Tootsies I think is just incrementally slowly catching up to him. Nope, just boosting there. That kind of separates them quite a large amount. As we're on board again with Bribin, Vic overtakes him there, and
So which of these leaders do you think is going to pit first?
oh, that's the question here. I mean, I don't know. Historically, do mouse and keyboard drivers pit earlier or later than keyboard or controller drivers? I don't actually know if.
Usually is able to eke out the tires a little bit longer.
All right. So, do we know Bruder, Tootsies, and R7 what input they're playing on all of them? I couldn't tell you. I know Tootsies for sure uses the mouse steering.
I honestly don't remember. But because of new driver aids this season allowed by the FIA, keyboard are able to calibrate their input controls so that they're not messing up their tires as much in certain corners with their keys to X.
Oh, so they can they can smooth accelerate, but not in that way. Like they can use a variable input essentially. Food just got here, so give me one moment. I'll be right back. If you want to take over some of the commentary, Jay, that would be pretty cool. Tootsies enters the pits.
So Tootsies into the pits. We got one of our race leaders. This is where it's going to be crucial depending on their tire strategy. Bruder going longer, and then if Tootsie's able to get a good stop, then he might be able to retain his lead over R7. But if R7 puts a great in lap, he is going to overtake Tootsies. Tootsies isn't having as slow of a lap as we saw some of these other guys. This longer pit with the wine does affect how you take it. Okay, as Tootsies comes out of the pits, he is still ahead of MM7, who is now in 7th. MM7's already pit. Robert, who had a crash earlier in the race, in 8th is already pit. So now you're going to see, is he able to hold them off with his new tires? Let's put it in to see where our leader, if he's going to be pitting. Because when Bruder pits, we're going to see if he's able to come out.
See where he comes out ahead of him. If not, I think Bruder holds his lead though. So Spooky is over in 18th, so who were we on board here with that? We're back with Bruder here. We'll see if he pits. He does not pit. Well, I mean, what lap are we on if we can get a lap check? Gotta be closer to the middle of the race now. It looks like potentially we might be going for some one-stops here, stretching it. Lap 26, so, I mean, I think, if I'm not mistaken...
It's actually lap 23, my bad.
23?
So, 23, so we've gone 10 laps, which is crazy. He must be on the hard tire if he has yet to pit, because this is half race distance, and he's probably really shooting for the one stop, which then makes Twosies in trouble, right? Because Twosies could not go half race distance, and if he's not able to make up the time with a faster tire, because Bruder was able to stay ahead, Bruder is looking good on his tire strategy. That is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, he was already out to a pretty impressive pace lead, and now he's having a strategy lead as well. I don't think he's going to be caught by anybody, potentially, unless R7 is able to muster some pace on him on the second stint.
So that's crazy how the safety car really put things in motion, because that's probably why he's able to do it so well. We're going to go for the Maxiclone to see this. Oh, I thought it was a battle. Oh, it's behind, so it's Flucky. Okay. Man, all these mini maps make them look really close. Fauzi's into the pits. Let's see, Bryden.
Want me to look around and see who's battling?
Yeah, let's see what Fauzi's going to happen when he comes out of the pits.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, side by side with Snipes. Let's see if he's able to get these fresh tires in. The overtake. He dove. Very nice.
Nice. As he gets into 12th place, I believe that is for.
Oh, R7 is into first place. So that means he's gone into the pits. Bruder's gone into the pits.
And R7 hasn't.
Exactly. So Bruder was not able to go half race distance. That means he's probably going to do 2 hards and then a soft. If R7 can, from pole position, go into a one stop, then he might actually have the best strategy. That is impressive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So Bruder's down in the 4th. He did a pretty good job with his pitting. He doesn't really have traffic much. We've got Beanward. Is Bean a back marker? Yeah, it looks like this might be blue flags, but he's still fighting up front.
Twosies comes a bit far behind Bruder. Decent ways behind, but still, you know, within striking distance. So any mistakes by Bruder, he could capitalize on potentially.
Maybe we should just see. We should follow R7 and then see when he pits.
Yep, and then when he comes out of the pits, we'll see where he rejoins.
Right. So we'll take an onboard with our pole position currently leading the race, R7. On this very beautiful track created by Trolled By.
Oh yeah.
I did have fun modifying the track to add some of the other embellishments, like the bridges, like we just saw after Maggots and Beckett's right here. It looks really beautiful. Putting some camber, some banking on this last sector. There was a gentleman who actually had raced this track in real life. He said, hey, this needs to have a little bit more. Changing our chicanes in the last corners from the candy cane curves now to our red tires. Wow, R7 is flying and might actually be able to get the overcut to work on Twosies. And Twosies is down to 4th. Fancy is also going long. Let's see where Fancy's at.
Fancy always has great tire strategy and tire saving, so...
Yeah, let's go over to...
No surprise to see him still staying out as long as R7 has.
Oh, we have a Ferrari off track. Ferrari off track.
It's gonna be Bean. Looks like a DNF. Looks like the team asked him to park it and retire from the race.
Yeah, it looks like he's pulling off and retiring. R7 is still... Nope, R7's into the pits. Nope, he went past the pits.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's really going for that one-stop strategy.
He's flying.
Okay, let's look at... man,
Some
there's
kind
people
words
that are
from
next to each
Max.
other, but they're not actually close. I always... It's Mr. Spooky Scary. He might be the guy. Yeah, here we are. We're on board with him and Styx fighting for 18th and 17th, but you know, that's at least some battle.
Yeah, at least we're seeing some overtaking happen here. I'm looking around. I'm gonna tell you if I see anybody that's closer than that. Oh, Brybin and Pancho for for P8. I see. Oh, overtake.
Okay, so he was able to get the overtake. A little bit of wheel banging, maybe exceeding track limits. He's got the nice white suit, and Sticks comes back at it. So you're right that the curves makes a difference, but he was able to cover off Sticks and stay ahead. Who did you say we need to go to, Brybin?
Yeah, Brybin. And they're fighting for 8th, I believe. And then Pancho. Pancho's right behind him. Fairly close together now. I'm gonna keep looking around to see.
Remained out. I think R7 is indeed on a one-stop strategy, which is interesting because that's maybe why the leaders were able to pass him the first stint, because he was on hard tires.
But still held phenomenal pace with those hard tires too.
Exactly. Okay, MM7, it looks like is it at the pits, or what's going on with MM7?
MM7 and Flicky are very close right now. Side by side, as MM7 actually comes on the inside of Flicky. Flicky will hold,
he does
and then that's a
switchback.
Oh my god, what a move!
That was beautiful driving.
Wow.
And Flicky's going to try to get a little bit curves, but not enough to mount the attack. We're going to see what happens when they get back on to the Hamilton straight. Yeah, I think he's got it. Going into Maggots and Beckett's, he's probably going to stay ahead, and there's not going to be an overtaking.
I wish we had instant replay because that was beautiful. We just saw from MM7, just absolutely masterful as he goes to the switchback on I don't know what the name of that corner is, but it was fantastic, that move.
Okay, looks
Glad
like
we were
we've
able
got
to see
three
that.
cars now. Joe Brybin and Vic, they're still back low, aren't they?
Oh, Brybin's catching up on Vic now because I think Brybin was behind him a fair ways.
Ooh, that's going to probably be a penalty. Vic just taken out. That's not really a good way to pass, and you're not even in the points. Oh no.
No, he's for sure out of the points now. I mean,
okay,
oh my god.
Spooky Scary is looking like he's with another guy, unless he's a back marker. Let's see, is Spooky Scary a back marker? Oh yeah, he is. So he had the blue flag. Okay. That's R7 right here. So we're gonna find out the difference between a back marker and the leader of the race to see what we can ascertain from their lines and their curves usage.
Oh yeah. Maybe it's the downforce potentially too. I mean, he just doesn't.
It's unfortunate that we can never see these front wings. They are not driving without front wings, guys.
Oh! Wow, that's the difference between a front and rear driver.
That is. Let's see if R7 will finally go into the pits.
Oh,
He's
man.
into the pits, gentlemen. We've got a race leader into the pits. Now we're going to find out where are the drivers coming around the track. Is this going to maintain the race lead, or is the strategy going to come out?
What lap is that pit? Over halfway, if I were to guess.
No.
For sure. He comes out behind Bruder and Tuesdays though, so I mean, if they've got one more stop, then you know he might have the pit advantage. But if they're not stopping again, then I mean that might spell trouble for him. I don't know what tires he's on, which is always a surprise.
So this is lap 32. We've got about 15 laps left, and this is the fight at the front. R7 is going to reel in these two drivers, right? Like you pointed out, he's got the hard tire. He made it go long, and if they have to pit, they're donezo. He's probably not going to be able to keep up with them. But if they hold each other up to having to fight, that's when he's going to be able to get his best advantage.
Absolutely. Now that makes Tuesdays your race leader. Is he going to reclaim his next victory here? I mean, did he start off the season with 3 in a row, right?
Yep, 3 in a row, and then he had to go on a trip and miss last race. Well, actually, he missed qualifying, and then he's like, oh, with no practice, can I get in the race? Got crashed out, missed a checkpoint, was blue flagged at some point. He wasn't too happy about that. He's like, but I'm pacing the leaders. It's like, it doesn't matter. You're on back marker. But here he is, back up in the front. Ooh, so he is making mistakes in the second quarter, second sector. The problem is Bruder isn't able to capitalize by getting a nose up the inside.
Maybe he realized that. Maybe that's something he's gonna have to do going into the next time they go through there. Maybe he might actually be able to make a move through there.
Okay, we're gonna drop down the Vic because it looks like there's another battle.
And this is for 15th.
Okay, 15th. Okay, not quite in the points, but you know there are some battles. We'll see if there's other ones going on as well. Okay, Flicky is in the front of a train with Maxiclony. Let's see. So this. Oh, look at that! He was able to get past Hey Houdini with some good curse usage. So Maxiclony is on the doorstep for getting points. MM7 holding that last position point. It was difficult for Audi because they were trying to get Skill Max and MM7 on the same team. Their budget was a little bit too much because Audi's a new entrant and didn't have 50 million, only 45. And MM7 and Audi have only scored 9 championship points, which is very unfortunate for the F3 and F2 champion in his rookie season in F1, whereas his teammate Skill Max is... Where is he actually today? Oh, did he not show up?
Skill Max is 4th place.
Oh yeah, there he is. He's 4th place. I'm sorry. We haven't seen
top
him
5.
much today, have we?
He's been staying there. He's been hanging with the leaders. You know, I think he's been slowly gaining over time here. So maybe towards the end of the race, maybe his strategy will. Oh, as he overtakes Tuesdays into 3rd. I don't know what happened there. Skill Max has gone into 3rd place. I don't know.
Okay, let's see this. Let's see this battle. Skill Max is in 4th place. He's on the
Tuesday's
edge.
Coming out of the pits. Tuesday's just pit.
Okay, Tuesdays has done
reason.
his second pit stop. Like I said, R7's strategy was going to be paramount. And Tuesdays, let's see if he's able to hunt down the leaders. He's come back out in 6th, which means that Bruder may have to pit here soon as well. Let's see if Bruder is going to do it. Who pit first last time? It was Tuesdays, wasn't it? So Bruder was able to last, I think, 3 laps longer. So we'll try to keep track of him when we get close, because that is going to be the difference maker on tire strategy.
Depending on what compound he pitted onto as well. So this is going to be a battle between him and R7. I think it's looking to like for the race win here, and looks like R7 actually gaining a bit of time on Bruder.
Okay, let's check out R7 and see how that's going.
He's hunting Bruder down, I think.
Yeah, with a harder compound. We know for a fact that he did a hard compound for the first stint. So the question is, did Bruder switch to a hard compound, which means that they're going to race at similar pace? The issue is Bruder didn't do a half lap, so that means, a half race distance, so that means that he is not going to be able to get the net lead when he comes out of the pits. I think, unless there is something that we're missing here, R7 was able to execute the one stop.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. Bruder has to stop again, right? You think? Unless he's trying to make.
Is coming up on Joe Bryman. Let's see how Tuesdays fares as he's trying to make it up. This is for P6 to P5.
Stevie and Sticks might be holding up Bruder and R7 here because they're battling right ahead. So, yeah, R7 is actually gaining on Bruder now. Yeah, they're battling right in front of R7
look at that
and Bruder.
light curves. Oh, he goes battle wheel to wheel, and okay, he gave back the position. I think he exceeded track limits a little bit. Okay, a blue flag. We just heard angry radio from Bruder, him hitting or being hit by a blue flag. That's going to mess up his race entirely.
Wow. Sticks is gonna peel off to the side to let Bruder and R7 pass.
Look at that difference on the curves. He did a little bit of fighting. He said, you know what, I'm gonna wait so that I can be ahead in Maggots and Beckett's, and that made the difference.
Was that Tuesdays and Bryben we were just on board with?
Yep,
this is Tuesdays
was able to pass Bryben. Now let's see, Bruder is P1, but the question is, how long is he going to be that way? There's a train up ahead. Let's see who this is. Vic. And Hey Houdini. And these guys, this is 13th and 12th with Concho and 11th. These guys are maybe trying to get closer. I don't think they're going to get in the points unless MM7 has to pit again, but look at that pass. Oh!
Wow.
He did not make the pass. Houdini kept a little bit in the tank just to get him to use his curse too early. Well, clever, clever, clever. Okay, MM7 is really on the heels of Flicky.
Oh, R7 and Bruder are very close now.
Okay, let's
Potential
look at our
overtake. Could
leaders.
it? They were very close to that corner. R7 is going to use his curves towards the inside of Bruder. Bruder's going to use it to match him though, so no overtakes happening here. Going into the next corner, which I don't know the name of.
This will be unfortunate if those blue flags ended up being the difference maker. He is still ahead, but any time lost is going to really hurt at the end of the race, especially if he's got to pit again.
Well, especially if he's trying to stretch it and save his tires as long as possible. I mean, it's just having that sort of incident happen is not good. You got to either hit the brakes or you slide or something happens so you lose a little bit. Just that lap of tires is all you would need. I mean, if he's able to stretch it here, I don't know for sure what his strategy will be.
That's a good point. Tire strategy is paramount, and like you said, anything that messes it up is going to cost you an entire pit stop. It's not just
R7
It's not just
went by
losing
Bruder.
1 second because of some tire slide. It's losing 18 seconds because you have to pit early. You are absolutely right.
Wow, good move there by R7 to regain the lead. Bruder close behind though, as he's just going to shrink that gap going into the next DRS zone. So these two guys still fighting it out, but R7 has retaken the lead here over Bruder. I think the strategy might be shaking out a bit better for Bruder, and if Bruder's got a pit, I mean, it's just no shot anyone has a chance of coming near R7 because he's on that one-stop strategy. It looks like it's pretty locked here.
Well, considering that this track did not change except for safety concerns, we changed the Maggots and Beckett's where the hill come into the curb. We made it a little bit farther out. But other than that, R7 was able to take all of his knowledge and expertise from last season, put it on pole position, and he might actually be able to convert it this time to a race win. And that is all down to that really good tire strategy. Funny enough, last season, the tires were the same as this season, but mislabeled on the spreadsheet. And so people probably had wrong downforces thinking that we had harder compounds. And so it's good for people to be able to actually have the true stats and data for their strategies this time.
That is good. It helps competitiveness for sure, and being able to know exactly what downforces you need to be running, and it helps with calculating strategy as well. How many laps are we at? Are we over about close to the end of the race here?
Laps.
Out of 47, that's 6 laps to go. Will Bruder be able to close the gaps down to the final laps
this is
here?
probably for the race lead then, because Bruder probably tried to go on to hards. He probably really stretched out a medium stint or something, or maybe he was just on hards like R7 and just got a really good pace that first half of the race. And now it looks like R7 has been able to dial him in. And so if this is indeed a hard-to-hard strategy, Bruder has to pass R7 on track for the race win with 6 laps remaining.
Which is looking like he's struggling quite a bit. It looks like his tires might be falling off a cliff because, I mean, he might be trying to tire save, which is why the reason I think R7 actually got past him.
Well, you're right. I bet you the blue flag incident he had may lose him the race, right? Because if he was indeed in front because he went hard to hard, that means anytime he lost would have cost him because he's not pitting again. So that's unfortunate if that back marker might be the result in him being passed by R7 in the long run, because he was ahead of R7 in the first sector. Now we got these blue back markers. He passed Snipes in a good place. Is Bruder going to be able to pass him on the next straight? If not, and he gets held up in these corners, then R7's only going to pull away. Okay, we have a car on track.
Is there a car on track? Oh, Snipes, is he trying to pass R7? No? Interesting. Skillmax is still in a podium. Let's see. Oh, we've got a bit of a train coming out back behind here. I don't know what position this is for. Let me wait for these guys. Max and Skillmax. Battle of the Maxes here, but Max is way far back. Max goes off track here, so I mean, I believe he's a lap down actually over Skillmax. So this isn't for position. This is just on track battle. I'm gonna try to find R7 again here on track. As we're coming down to the dwindling laps
I just
here.
realized I was streaming, but I was in the other call, not this call. I was doing commentary. Oof.
Interesting.
So he was
Bruder's
on
gonna
radio.
overtake Snipes now.
Bruder was on radio, upset at Snipes for holding him back. This is now 2 blue flag situations that Bruder may feel that he lost time, and R7 was able to pass him at good spots.
Yeah, it's very, very unfortunate. It looks like that might be the case indeed. Safety car called. There's a safety car.
Wait.
Was there a car on track? It was after Maggots and Beckett's, right? Or leading up into it? Yeah, trying to see here. There was a car on track previously.
There was a car on track, even though we didn't see it. Apparently enough cars were seeing it that they decided to call the safety car. That must be a back marker who's unlapping himself. This is going to be interesting because we have less than 6 laps left. Okay, well, you can investigate that.
This might be a shootout here going to the final laps once the safety car is lifted.
So the race director is suspicious that a car was stood on track on purpose to call it a safety car because then he started moving or something. It's weird.
Uh-oh. Some foul play going on here.
Okay, we just heard from race director, the cars are not going to be unlapping themselves. There were some that were able to do it at the very beginning because they were between the safety car and the leader. But he doesn't want the lapped cars to be affecting the race. But here's the problem. We've got Hey Houdini. We got back markers in between.
Cut out there, Dre. Is this the McLaren that I'm looking at?
Okay, so
if
the word from the race director is P1, 2, and 3 do not have any back markers. He will not. Okay, safety car is in this lap. So, yeah, word from the FIA is that no cars are allowed to unlap themselves. The top 3 are able to be fighting for the lead, but not anyone else. They're going to have to immediately do blue flags. That's very interesting, very interesting. Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap.
Oh, this is going to be a shootout. Skill Max behind, buying in 3rd place too, so don't count him out either. He's had some pace to get to this point. I believe he started out outside of the top 5, maybe even further back from that, so he's had great pace to make it here, so we'll see what happens. The 2 McLarens, I believe, there's the McLarens behind the Alpha, or is that a Ferrari? Green flags, we are underway again.
Okay, Skillmax had a bad start to the race. Okay, there's a lot of blue flags being called. This is going to be really crazy at the end. Okay, the race director said all blue flags going on right now. It's interesting. I think because we were so short to the end, he didn't want to affect the racing at the front. But a lot of drivers are going to feel, I don't know, chipped because you know, they wanted to be able to lap themselves and they can't, and now they're having to lose a lot of time to giving up their positions to the people who are trying to lap them. But anyways, let's focus on the leaders. Is this going to be enough? Does Bruder have enough in the tank to mount an attack on R7?
R7 got off to a great start here. Looks like he's maintaining the distance. It's going to be all on Bruder here to see if he can actually beat R7's pace out.
Ooh! That is the end of our race.
Oh my god. Wow.
Okay, so that's why he brought in the safety car when he did, because he knew there was only 1 lap left, and he did not think that unlapping the cars was going to help. Wow, that was actually pretty smart from our race director.
Wow. Yeah, no controversy there. He had a chance. He could overtaken him for the race win. Didn't end up doing it, so looks like R7 is going to be your race winner here. Great strategy by him. I mean, that's just all up to strategy there. That was, you know, fantastic. Great race. Are we doing a post-race interview?
Okay, so this is something interesting. I think there's some great drama. Here's the official word from the FIA director. He just was on call with the drivers. He said that a McLaren, who is a reserve driver today, was purposely stopped on track. And he believes that that car was stopped on track so that a safety car would come out, so that the other McLaren could then attack the leaders at the end of the race. So this is why he did not allow back markers to lap themselves, because he didn't want unfair advantage given. That's going to be probably hugely investigated after the race.
Wow, that's huge drama. Oh my god. Tuesdays, oh my gosh, what another not great performance. All the way down in 7th. I don't know if that was a strategy that couldn't quite pan out, or if there's some sort of racing incident. But another sad performance. So you'd like to see him up there in the top 3. I mean, started off so hot, so I'm expecting him to be back up there for the next race here in Mexico. Mexico is a wild track. As we are inviting our podium drivers into the call now. Bruder and Skillmax have joined us thus far. We're going to wait for our race winner here in a second, but for now, we were going to ask Bruder, who finished in 2nd. There was a bit of controversy towards the end there with the safety car. What do you know, and what have you heard as far as the safety car drama?
So yeah, I was definitely getting Abu Dhabi 2021 vibes for sure. I mean, R7 pointed out at the end, but I'm very happy for another double podium for Aston Martin. This is great for the battle, and we're pretty solid on P1 constructors right now. So we're very comfortable in this position right now. R7 was very respectful with the lag bubble that we had. Just amazing racing with the two of us. Very uncommon, to be honest, because of the lag. His tires are like a smoke bomb in front of me. I barely see anything. But yeah, this race was really cool. With the last lap safety cars, I was really confused what that McLaren was doing in the middle of the track. Because usually when someone disconnects, the name doesn't pop up anymore. But for that guy, it did. So yeah, I'll check out the penalty submission to see what happened there.
Absolutely, there might be some foul play going on. There might be some potential salaries deducted from some teams, depending on who's at fault for that, and if they can determine whether that was on purpose or not. And we've also got Skillmax in the call here, who had an amazing race, able to claw his way up to a 3rd place finish. It was a fantastic race. What was your strategy, and where did you start? And kind of go through your race with us.
All right, so first of all, I want to say, Flicky, if you're rewatching this, I told you you're gonna fall from your seat, because we made the impossible possible by doing mediums, and on Sunday or Saturday, me and Flicky were on a call, and I was like, I know last season's race, the strat was hard soft, and I was like,
Yep.
do you think it's possible to do mediums? And he said, no way. Well, guess who did it?
And that's why
Really?
you're in 3rd place. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah,
So-
so every season I realized we're improving on downforces, we're improving in strats, we're improving in quali. Every season we're shaving a bunch of tenths, just getting super competitive and actually getting everything really perfect.
Nice.
Also, what I wanted to say is, after a quite disappointing quali, because I only did one quali lap, because after that I realized that my recording didn't work and I didn't want to get another reprimand for not being able to provide my lap. So I only did one quali lap, qualied in P14 and finished in P3. Luckily, I fixed it in the break between quali and race, so I have my entire race recorded in case anyone wants to submit anything against us.
So
Yeah, and I was
good
on
job on that.
Yeah, another P2. I have so many podiums. I have so many P2s now, but still not a single win. I have really no clue what track I'm gonna be as good as in this one, but maybe this season I get a win finally.
That I mean, I'm pending to see how the points check out. That might be Skillmax potentially overtaking Tuesdays for the championship lead. Now the math is still out on that one.
No, not yet.
Not yet. It will be very
Next
close
race, next
though.
race. Don't worry, man.
Next
So,
race. That's
I-
awesome.
I want to review with you guys. Do you think R7 was on mediums as well? Because we thought it had to have been a hard to hard, but you're saying that the pace of the track, you guys were able to get 2 medium stints. That is impressive.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah,
The tire strat that R7 had was very interesting. So he was a rocket ship on those hards. I was in mediums behind him, hunting him down. I think it took me like 10 laps to finally overtake him. Then I think I had a 1.2 second gap. Wait, my brother.
Okay, so,
So yeah,
here's...
then
oh,
then
yeah.
we went on another set on mediums. He went on the softs, and once again, he wasn't that much faster. So his hards were out of this world, really.
Yeah, he said, and because he doesn't have a microphone, I asked him. So I said, what tire strat? He went hards to mediums. So like you said last season, hards to softs. Apparently he went hards to mediums, and maybe that's why you were able to maintain that pace in the first sector. But do you think if he had gone hards to softs, he would have been able to do it with that late safety car? Or was the mediums
Oh,
necessary?
absolutely.
Okay, so he
No,
probably would have been
absolutely.
even faster. Oh. 'Cause-
Not necessarily faster. His downforce is really slidey for the softs. I mean, they drop off really bad.
I practiced with R7 like 2 days ago, and he was going on a very low rear to have a good hard pace, but then to not go on softs instead of the medium. So yeah, he like sacrificed the soft stint for a better hard stint.
Oh, I see. Now, here's what he says. He says, I did not do any race pace practice at all, just quali. So, do you think that's maybe why he didn't take the best race tire strategy, even though he was able to still convert it? Or, like you said, was it just down the downforces? He felt like the hards was the mediums was going to be better and not get on the softs at all.
Honestly said, I think R7 is too lazy to test tires. So he's going for that what he thinks is going to do good, and he wanted to try a low downforce in the rear to have good pace on the hards. So that is why I think he went with hard medium, which is by all means not a bad strategy.
True. Well, you have to consider he did get pole position 2 seasons in a row now, right? So maybe he felt like with the changes to the track being like minuscule, that he didn't have to put as much practice time into it. Speaking of practice time, I do want to kick it over. Fauzi, our server owner, and has gotten back into the saddle, into the seat, putting the helmet on. Tell us, how was practicing for your home Grand Prix?
I didn't do much. I
Oh.
started at like 5:30, and then I did AF1. But my times were actually really good. I think I got like a 53.9 after like 10 laps. And then I fucked my quali because I didn't, I had hards on the whole time. So that's why I got like a 55 something.
Ooh. Good thing you were able to make the 107% rule. Well, I guess you have a contract, so we were going to let you race anyways. But, oof, getting the right tire would make all the difference, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I ended up I started on the mediums and I went to P12 after like 3 corners, which was good. And then I kind of just raced. Someone held me up. I accidentally spun my teammate off.
Oh, no!
I just kept going, and then I went on a second stint of mediums, and luckily the safety car saved me. I think I would have made it anyway, but I managed to do 2 mediums stints.
Okay, so the safety car. Okay, I do want to hear from you 3 drivers, your thoughts on the safety car. I know it's a little bit of controversy, and I've heard the race director kind of give his thoughts, but as drivers, what are your reflections on the safety car situation?
I think it was a good call, but I think it should have stayed till the end of the race. I don't think we should have raced on the last lap, because there were so many back markers just all in between the front runners. It was just not, like, going into those first few corners, it was like, who the fuck am I racing actually? You know, you didn't know who you was racing, you didn't know who was blue flag. It was just chaos. So a lot of people lost out from getting spun out, etc.
Yeah, I remember Snipes was just overtaking everyone while asking, can I overtake, can I unlap myself? So, yeah, I remember that when I mean, me myself did it once, like I think 2 seasons ago. So I guess he's learning, he's new to F1. So, but yeah, that car really looked suspicious on the middle of the track.
I
Just
think
standing there.
I think Zoom, because Zoom did it before with what was that track called that Monk made? When we raced on a
Honest?
couple of seasons. Yeah, Honors. He did it at Honors. He did like a last lap safety car release, and it was just chaos. I think he wanted to do it again. He likes to do it for the action. I think that's why he did it.
Well, let's review then. Do you guys think any cars actually lost positions because of the last lap? Because like you're saying, if you ended under safety car, then they would have just kept their positions. You wouldn't have to worry about any lapping. Do you think anyone actually got spun or wheel banged or lost positions at the restart?
Wheel bang for sure.
Position to me.
I heard Tuesdays, yeah.
Oh, so Tuesdays got unfortunate. Okay, so there was at least one person that got affected. Now, did the safety car affect Bruder and Skillmax? Did it affect your tires? Fauzi said that he was able to make his second tires last a little long. Did that affect you too either at all?
We were hoping for rain because I thought R7 was on soft. I mean, I think it's kind of funny. I was in DMs with R7. I asked him, what strat are you going for? He said hard, soft, because last season I did a mistake with the mediums. And now he does the same mistake again. And I think he knew that the rain was going to come. So that's probably why he went for mediums.
Oh, yeah, just so in case at the end of the race, you don't want to be on worn soft tires.
Yeah.
Okay,
so he did the best move.
Now, Bruder, you were a little ragey on your radio. Tell us about the blue the back markers, the blue flags. Did you actually get held up that cost you the race win, or was it just, a little inconvenience in the middle and at the end of the race?
Okay, I definitely wasn't getting held up. It was inconvenient in front of me. I mean, I had to boost a bit later than usual. I mean, it's just annoying because I get smoke from everyone. It's harder to see the lines, of course. And when I'm begging 5 times on the radio for blue flags, I'm screaming at Teton, you can ask Skillmax, and I'm still not getting blue flags, then yeah, I will get mad after a lap or two.
Okay. So this is something that we just did at our Monaco race for the Triple Crown, is we did not allow colored smoke. Now, do you think this is a big enough safety concern that we should do it for F1, or does it seem like, okay, that's just, it is what it is?
I'd appreciate it really, really hard.
Okay, you can always put that in suggestions or discussion. That's time we'll leave for it. But thank you guys. Great podium. Double podium for the Aston Martin. How do you guys feeling going into the end of our first, what we call the first third of the season? We're 5 races in, and there's 13 races total. How do you guys feel about your Aston Martin and the constructors?
Skillmax, you first. Come on.
I think personally, we have been working together very well, getting along very well, the Austrian powerhouse. And I hope to continue our pace and teamwork to the next races. And I'm very excited to also see the last race, our home race, Chiliad, to maybe have a championship deciding race on our home track.
Ooh, that would be great.
And do you guys think you're the favorites, or is there anybody that you're looking out for that might be some tough competition in the constructors?
In my opinion, the Alfa Romeos are pretty good. I know the Alfa Romeos aren't super fast in practice quali, but they know how to race. They know they have the pace in race, and they have the knowledge and experience how to race wheel to wheel. So that will be a tough battle. And also McLaren, if Tuesdays keeps his great performances for the first 3 races. But I do not think that Tuesdays or McLaren will have the potential to beat us, honestly said.
Ooh.
On the constructors, constructors, we're the favorites for sure. But for drivers, Tuesdays is one of them. And Haas is an enemy, but only if they try. I mean, R7 did 0 practice, he's getting P1. I mean, he's so talented. He's so talented. I mean, I'm writing this guy in DMs, what are you going for practice? He's like, oh, I'm not doing practice. Sends me a lap of a Rockstar world record. This dude is doing different tracks and still winning these.
So, yeah, it shows that certain tracks favor certain drivers, right? So, for this track, he got pole position last year. He's like, I don't need to change much in my practice. I got it. But look, because of that last lap safety car, with Fancy being able to pass Tuesdays, that puts Haas, Aston Martin, and then Haas. So you're in the middle of a Haas sandwich at the end of the race. So you don't think that the Haas's are going to be able to continue this attack on you guys as the season progresses?
May I answer this?
Yeah, you do.
All right. So R7 has told me, of course, they're both very, very talented drivers, no doubt, even if they don't do any practice at all. But in my knowledge, R7 did do practice actually with me. So he did do practice and gave the data to Fancy. But if neither of them does practice, which I think will happen in the next few races, because they already said they're not very motivated currently to put in the time to get the right downforce on the tires.
And in DMs, R7 also wrote me that he doesn't like the tracks that we're building, but I think the complete other direction. I mean, these tracks, they're way better than Rockstar. So I think it's personal preference here, but these tracks are really amazing.
Well, thank you to that. Shout out again to our track creator, Trolled By, making the base layout, and I was able to make some adjustments. And you guys have been here for a couple seasons, and these tracks have produced better and better racing, I think, because, like you're saying, we're not just trying to select tracks that you can just wood boost corner cut like in Rockstar tracks, right? We're trying to build tracks that allow for some good wheel-to-wheel racing, but also tire strategies. And I'm glad that that they're getting better over time.
So yeah, this track was really good for tires. So yeah, there's I think 3 possible strategies that everyone could have gone. So it's one of those tracks where it's basically personal preference on your downforce and your tires. So the battles are also pretty good. I had one of R7, and it was relatively clean with his lag bubble. So I respect him a lot for not crashing me out and vice versa. So Houdini was really hungry in the first lap. He was all over my rear, and then I think he already submitted a penalty against me. But it's just gonna be a lag warning in my opinion.
Okay. Nice. Well, thank you guys. I'll let Tyler wrap up this stream. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah, great race here. Always great racing at Silverstone, and it's wonderfully adapted track, like Jay-Jak was saying. Thanks to the track creator, and we'll see you guys next week for Mexico. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good